Is your home suffocating you with all the stuff you've stored? Mine was. I would open a closet and have everything fall on top of me. Drawers barely closing, boxes piled in corners, all because I kept things just in case. What if I need this one day, I thought. But that day never came. My life changed when I discovered the Japanese minimalist style. Not all at once, but gradually. I started by asking myself a simple question before storing anything. Why am I keeping this? If the answer was just in case, the item went to donation. Today I'm going to share with you the 7 real transformations that occurred in my life when I stopped keeping things for no reason. Number 5 completely changed my relationship with money and shopping. The first transformation was in the space of my home. The closets once packed now have room to breathe. I can clearly see everything I have without digging through things. Each drawer has a purpose. Each shelf has a specific function. It's not about having very few things, but about having exactly what you use and need. The second change was in my cleaning routine. Before I spent hours trying to organize the mess, moving objects from one side to the other, without actually solving the problem. Now, with fewer items, cleaning is quicker. I don't have to remove 15 objects from a surface just to clean it and then put everything back. The surfaces are clearer, making everything simpler. The third transformation was surprising. My ability to find things improved by 100%. When you have less, you find what you need faster. That frustration of searching for something important and not finding it, it has practically vanished from my life. Each object has its place, and with fewer things, it's much easier to maintain that system. In fourth place, I noticed a change in my relationship with time. Before, I spent hours of my week just dealing with stuff, organizing, cleaning, searching for and storing things. Now that time has come back to me. How many hours of your life have you spent just organizing things you rarely use? When I stopped holding on to things just in case, I gained time for activities that really matter. The fifth transformation, as promised, was financial. By stopping the habit of keeping things without purpose, I also started buying more mindfully. Before making any purchase, I ask myself, is this going to end up in the pile of stuff that I kept just in case? If the answer is yes, I don't buy it. This change has helped me save a lot of money. I stopped buying things just because they were on sale or because they might be useful in the future. The sixth change was about the ease of moving. Have you ever had to move? Then you know how stressful it is to pack and unpack all your stuff. With fewer just-in-case items, my recent moves have been much simpler. Fewer boxes, less stress, less work. This also applies to reorganizing within the home. Everything has become easier to manage. Finally, the seventh transformation was in my relationship with the things I chose to keep. I started to appreciate more what I have. When you keep only what you truly use and love, each item gains more significance. My home isn't empty. It's filled with things that truly matter to me, that I use regularly or that bring me genuine joy. Let's talk practically about how you can begin this change in your home. First, choose a small area. It could be a drawer or a shelf. Take everything out of there and make 3 piles. Things you use regularly, things you haven't used in over 6 months, and things you keep just in case. Be honest in this sorting process. The regular use pile goes back in place, organized. The not used in more than 6 months pile deserves some reflection. Do you really need this? If the answer is no, donate or discard it. The just-in-case pile is the one that needs the most attention. For each item, ask yourself, what is the actual likelihood that I'll need this? And if I do need it, would it be difficult or expensive to replace? If it's something that's easily replaceable or has a low probability of use, it's better to free up that space. A common mistake is trying to do everything at once. This leads to decision fatigue and often to abandoning the process. Start small, see the results, and let your motivation grow naturally. When you experience an organized closet where you can easily find everything, you'll want that feeling in other areas of your home. Another important point, it's not about throwing everything away and living like you're camping in your own house. The goal is to have just enough, neither too much nor too little. Every home and every person has their own needs. A cook needs more utensils than someone who rarely cooks. There's no one-size-fits-all rule about how many items you should have. Let's talk about specific areas of the house that tend to accumulate just-in-case items. The kitchen is a prime example. How many utensils do you have that you've used once and never again? That special vegetable cutter, the set of baking dishes you only used at Christmas in 2018, The extra glasses for guests that never show up. These are perfect candidates for donation. In the bathroom, beauty products and medications are the culprits. That shampoo that didn't work well but you kept just in case, the expired medications from years ago, the free samples you'll never use. Clean out regularly and keep only what you truly use. The closet is perhaps the place where we store the most things just in case. That pair of pants that no longer fits, but you keep for when you lose weight. The uncomfortable shoes you wore once. The shirt you received as a gift but never really liked. Be honest, if you haven't worn it in the last 12 months, except for seasonal clothing, you're probably not going to wear it. Papers and documents also tend to accumulate. Many of us keep receipts, old statements, and bills just in case. Check which documents you really need to keep for legal reasons, usually tax documents from the last 5 years, and important documents like deeds. The rest can be digitized or discarded. One often overlooked area is digital items, photos we never look at, files we never open, emails we never read. All of this is also digital clutter. Apply the same principle. If you haven't used it in the last few months, and it doesn't hold significant sentimental or practical value, you probably don't need to keep it. Speaking of sentimental value, this is a delicate point. Often we hold on to things just in case because they have some emotional connection. Here the question shifts a bit. Does this object truly bring me good memories that I want to preserve, or am I just keeping it out of habit or guilt? If it's something truly special, keep it. But you might not need to keep all 50 souvenir mugs from your travels. A trick that works well for sentimental items is to take photos. This way, you preserve the memory without taking up physical space. This works especially well for school projects from your kids, travel souvenirs, and other bulky yet emotionally significant items. Another practical tip: create a waiting box. When you're unsure about something, put it in this box, close it, and note the date. If after 3 or 6 months you haven't opened the box to look for the item, you can probably let it go without any issues. An important aspect of this process is the fate of the items you decide not to keep. Whenever possible, prefer donating over discarding. Something that is no longer useful to you can be very helpful to someone else. Look for charities, shelters, schools, or even friends who might benefit from the items, but damaged or heavily used things that aren't suitable for donation, seek recycling alternatives before sending them to the regular trash. Old clothes can become cleaning rags. Electronics have specific disposal points, and wooden furniture can be restored or disassembled for reuse. As you move forward in this process, you will notice changes in your thinking about consumption. You become more selective in your purchases, more aware of the life cycle of objects, and more mindful of the true cost, not just financial but also in terms of space and time, of having something. A common question I get is, but what if I need that item in the future? My answer is always the same. In most cases, if you really need it, you can borrow, rent, or buy it again. And the cost of that is typically less than the cost of storing, organizing, and managing dozens or hundreds of items just in case over the years. Keep in mind that this is not a one-time process. It's a mindset shift that applies continuously. Even after the initial big declutter, new things come into our lives. The important thing is to always apply the filter. Am I keeping this for a real reason or just in case? Now let's talk about how this mindset applies to different rooms in the house. In the living room, for example, it's common to accumulate books we will never read again, DVDs of movies we can watch on streaming, and seasonal decorations that sit stored for 11 months of the year. Question each of these items. In the office or workspace, we often tend to hold on to just-in-case materials from old projects, outdated equipment, pens that no longer work, and piles of papers to read later. This kind of clutter directly affects our productivity and focus. In storage areas like basements, garages, or pantries, the problem can be even greater. These are the places where we put things that might be useful one day, and that day rarely comes. Tools that we used once 5 years ago, party decorations from celebrations we never held again, sports equipment from hobbies we've abandoned. If you have children, you know that the accumulation of toys is a constant challenge. Many are kept just in case because they were gifts or were expensive, even if the kids no longer play with them. Teaching children early on to donate what they no longer use is a valuable lesson. Speaking of lessons, here are a few I learned in my journey to stop holding on to things just in case. 1. Empty space doesn't need to be filled. Having free space in cabinets and drawers isn't a problem, it's a solution. 2. Most of the things we keep out of fear of needing them are never truly necessary. 3. Fewer items mean fewer daily decisions, reducing mental fatigue. 4. Your home should serve your current lifestyle, not your past or a hypothetical future. 5. True abundance isn't about having a lot, but about having enough and knowing that it's enough. An unexpected benefit I discovered was how this practice helped me make quicker decisions in other areas of my life. When you exercise the muscle of deciding what truly matters in the material world, it becomes easier to apply that discernment in relationships, commitments, and opportunities. Now let's be realistic. You're going to encounter resistance on this journey, whether it's from yourself or from others living with you. It's normal to feel attachment, fear of regret, or even guilt about getting rid of things that were gifts or cost a lot. Acknowledge these feelings, but don't let them dictate your actions. If you live with family or roommates, respect the fact that everyone has their own pace and relationship with objects. Start with your personal items and the common areas you manage. Lead by example, not by imposing. Over time, the visible benefits may inspire others to follow the same path. One important point: stopping the habit of keeping things just in case doesn't mean you'll never keep anything again. Some things truly deserve to be kept: important documents, tools you use seasonally, items of real sentimental or historical value. The key is to be intentional and honest about your true reasons. As you progress through this process, you'll discover your own balance. Some people feel better with more empty space, while others prefer a more filled environment. There's no absolute right or wrong. The important thing is that each item in your home is there by a conscious choice, not just in case. One practice that helped me a lot was setting physical limits for categories of items. For example, deciding that my books must fit on a specific shelf, or that my clothes need to fit comfortably in the available closet. When the space gets full, something has to leave before something new comes in. Another helpful tip is to do a usage challenge. For a month or season, label or mark everything you actually use. At the end of the period, you'll have a clear view of what is essential and what is taking up space unnecessarily. A significant advantage of the Japanese minimalist style is how it makes maintaining the home easier. With fewer objects, cleaning becomes more efficient. Surfaces are clearer, which not only simplifies physical cleaning, but also provides a sense of mental calm when you look around. Speaking of mental calm, this has been one of the greatest gifts of this change in my life. Before, when I looked at a shelf full of things or a cluttered closet, I felt a weight, a sense of an unfinished task. Now, when I see organized and purposeful spaces, I feel a tranquility I never thought possible. Don't be fooled, this process takes time. It's not just about a big weekend cleanup, but about changing your relationship with belongings. At first, you might feel uncertain, question your decisions, and even consider holding on to a few things, just in case. That's perfectly fine. It's a journey, not a fixed destination. What struck me the most was how this change spread into other areas of my life. I started applying Japanese minimalist principles to physical objects, but soon I was questioning other types of clutter, commitments I accepted without thinking, relationships I maintained out of inertia, habits I followed without a clear purpose. In the end, what Japanese minimalism taught me goes far beyond organizing closets. It taught me to live with more intention, to make more conscious choices, and to value what truly matters. And to me, that's the real treasure of this philosophy. I hope these 7 transformations have shown how stopping the habit of holding on to things just in case can change not only your home but your life as a whole. Start small, be patient with yourself, and most importantly, remember that the goal isn't to have a picture-perfect home, but a space that works for you and your unique lifestyle. You don't have to take this journey alone. Share your experiences, challenges, and accomplishments in the comments. We're in this together on the path to a life with less clutter and more meaning. Share this blessed video so it can touch and help others like you and me. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of our faith community. If you'd like to support our channel a little more, consider becoming a member. Here are 2 more videos for you to continue your search. Thank you, and may God bless you all. See you soon.